It's Friday. Friday means mower maintenance for us here, like the pros. I'm gonna show you guys how the pros take care of their machines. And I shouldn't even say the pros because I know a lot of big companies who absolutely neglect mower maintenance, and they wonder why their machines break down left and right. Not that ours don't have issues and they don't break down, but you lessen the amount of breakdowns you have when you do stuff like this. So let me show you. Guys should be rolling in here soon. We got a couple of them here, and it's the first thing we do on Friday mornings is we change the blades. We grease the fittings underneath. We grease the sulkies. I'm still waking up. I'm trying to think of what else we do. We sharpen the blades, of course. I think I already said that. We scrape the decks underneath, which kind of a dirty job, but it enhances the cut quality. I'm gonna show y'all what we used to do and how we used to do it compared to how we do it now. It's a big change. So first things first, and this really is every morning. Y'all see me do this in other YouTube videos, is check the oils. It takes 5 minutes. It will save your engine. Check the oil levels. Make sure everything is filled up, nothing's low. That one's good. And I know which ones, because I do it every single morning, I know which ones I gotta look after. Some of them, like the older machines, burn a little oil. We gotta add some, maybe like once a week. The newer machines, you don't really have to worry about it so much, but it's still good to check up on them. If you ain't never used a walk behind like this will turn you into a man. The old walk behind. Pistol grip. So when they get here, everybody kind of knows what they're doing. We'll take the blade sharpener, throw it outside. That's Alicio's job. He sharpens the blades. We'll situate the mowers and arrange them in like a way that we can access them. We'll pull some out. So as we finish them, we'll pull them out, bring the new ones in so we have enough room to kind of maneuver and work. The theme of this video is systems and processes. You got to have processes in place and systems. This is our process, blade changing process. Need that energy. This thing's pretty nice. A mower specific mower jack. Kind of like a car jack, but for a mower. Reinforced safety. Just in case. This is the other dedicated jack. It's called a Ballard Super Jacket. It's pretty nice. There are some cons to it. It's kind of, there's a technique to it. The other guys struggle doing it, but let me show you how it works. Come over here. Get it up under here, underneath the deck. Give it the old. Here we go. It's early. My muscles aren't woken up yet. No, we still got the old ones. Let me well, just to be clear, those mowers are significantly lighter. The bucket does a fine job. I will say though that when you use these, the sit downs are significantly easier to lift up compared to the stand ons, because you got to think on the stand on, the machine's in the front, all the weight's in the front, where the machine's in the back, so it's kind of like counterbalance, so it's easier to lift up rather than trying to lift up majority of the weight, which is on the front. Does that make sense? It's technique. You gotta use your legs. Pull this outside so the sparks don't fly inside the building. This is a dedicated blade sharpener. So what this does is, you see this little axis right here? This like ensures that you get that 30-degree cutting angle on the mower blades, which is like, that's it. They say that that's like the best angle for cutting grass. So this just keeps the same angle on all the blades rather than the way that we used to do it, which, come over here. I think we still have it. I don't know. We might have gave it away. Our old blade sharpener that we used for fucking ever. Oh, here it is. Let's see if we can see it. This is the junk shed, if y'all can't tell. This is where goes to die. You see the angle grinder right there, or the bench grinder? So with that, like, you can't get the exact angle. You're like constantly pivoting and cutting on it, which you can sharpen them, but some angles are 25 degrees, some angles might be 40 degrees, so you don't get that consistent angle like you do with this blade sharpener over here. And this is one over here is actually a generic one. They make what is called an RBG 712, which some of the guys might know what I'm talking about. That's the name brand one. This one right here is the Vivor, so it's half the price on Amazon. You can get it for like 250 bucks. I ain't got a code for y'all, but it's nice. All I had to do was the original wheel that came on this, we took it off because it was crap. I bought a RBG 712 grinding wheel and installed it. Works great. You'll see that in action here in a second. You see a lot of the smaller mowers we pull out, we don't sharpen those every week like we do all the other machines, because these, I mean, they might get used twice a day compared to 16, 17, 18 times a day. So we'll sharpen these maybe once a month or so, the smaller machines. And this is a little guy. I get my workout in, I get my lat pulls. Josh is the guy who uses the impact. We use the Milwaukee impact and he zips them off. And we usually like to keep it like one person to do that job. Then you know, like, okay, he took them off so he knows which ones are ready to be put back on, and rather than having a new person do it and then things get confused. He's the guy who checks to make sure that the blades are not upside down, which has happened. You take it out the next time you mow and then all of a sudden one little stripe underneath is higher than the other, and then you gotta come back and zip them off and redo it all. Keep each set together because this mower blades are different than those, which are different than those, different sizes, and you can even have a 52 on the Skag is actually a little different size than the 52 on a Hustler, just by just a little bit, so you can't interchange those blades. And when we take them off, we keep them all together, walk them over to Alicio, he sharpens them up. Are these done? And once they're done, you can see here, nice and shiny edges, ready to trim your beard up. This right here, this is called the cutting edge. So this little tip, you want like a 90-degree angle on this, because this is really what's doing the majority of the cutting is right there. Because when it spins, this is what's hitting the grass first, rather than like really right here. You want to make sure that tip is nice and sharp. The Hustlers, you got to take them off from underneath. You see how it's like a short little bolt? Goes in there, and then you screw it into the spindle underneath. Compare it to the Skags over here. This is all the Skag. They have a bolt that goes all the way through. So when you take it out, you don't really have to get necessarily underneath like you do the Hustlers, because you spin them off from the top nut. This one's unique because you got to make sure you get the right sequence of washers when you put it back on. So I keep them all together like that. Put that there so I don't mix them up. Come under here. Same thing, take the 3 washers off. Keep them all together. Boom. Kind of inspect them, make sure they don't look like they're dinged up or bent or anything from hitting a rock. So these are good. You sharpen them so many times, you get very little meat at some point, so you gotta change them out. I got a box over here with some extra blades, brand new ones, ready to go, which I'm gonna save these for leaf season. That's really when you tear them up the most. All right, got them doing that. Let me go grab these other mowers. Systems and processes, people. Systems and processes. We got a process with the blade maintenance. Everybody has their individual job. Alicio sharpens blades, Josh takes them off, Brad and Seth put the blades back on, scrape the decks, and then I kind of hop around and just facilitate, make sure everything's going smoothly, which I really don't have to do that. They already know because they know the process. But systems is another thing. That's why it's good to have a system in place for your lawn care business or any kind of home service. We use Jobber. If you don't know what Jobber is, it is an all-in-one CRM. I have an app right here so I can use it in my phone. You don't have to go worry about going back to the house or back to the shop, getting on your computer on the desk. It's nice to have it right here. We're on Friday. Friday is our shorter day. Up until today, we have a full schedule. So here on the actual app, it tells you the approved quotes that we have from the past week, how many jobs are required invoicing. You see a lot because it's still middle of the month, so we still have a few more weeks, so we're going to generate all the invoices for the end of the month for all the customers. But it's nice because rather than like we used to do it is write down each individual cut and then tally those up, and then sometimes you lose track of it. It's nice that Jobber keeps track of everything, and then in the month you go to it, hit this, create an invoice, and then it populates every single time that you did a visit for them. Generate it, send it off, text it, email it, all through the Jobber app, which is super nice. Keeps everything in one place, one system, helps the business run so much more efficient than it used to. If you want to try out Jobber for yourself, 14-day free trial. I'll put a little QR code right here for everybody watching on TV. Click that little link right there or screenshot it. It'll take you to get an exclusive discount code through my link. Appreciate them. Check out Jobber for yourself. Bring your business up to speed. It's the modern era, man. It's the 21st century. That's also a thing when you sharpen and take the blades off so frequently that blade bolt itself, you can see how it starts getting tore up after a while. Gets around to the edges. I like to change it before it gets too bad, because at some point you ain't gonna be able to get the damn thing off. So it's another thing you gotta keep up with when you change them so frequently like we do, which is once a week. So we keep a couple of spare ones just in case. So with this, see how he screws it all the way in first before, you don't just barely put it in, because we had before where we barely put it in, then we take an impact and drive it in, and then it gets cross-threaded, and then you pretty much ruin the whole spindle and you gotta replace it. So this way we screw it all the way till it's tight, and then Josh goes through and... Josh, do you think it's easier to change the blades on the Skags or the Hustlers?
Easier on the Hustlers. You've got to be careful. I've learned a trick with the Hustlers. You've got to shoot that middle bolt when putting them back on, or you'll get your arm smacked with the blades and bleeding.
I like the bolt all the way through better, personally, because you ain't got to worry about really stripping it out. I mean, I guess you could strip this out in theory, but it's a lot easier on the other ones. It wasn't much on this one this week, was it? They come under here and they scrape. This each week we've been pretty dry, so there's not too much old grass and push it out like that. So we used to have, which I'll show you actually, we still have it. Don't ever use this damn thing no more. This is the old fashioned grease gun where you gotta pump it by hand, which we grease most of the fittings and then the spindles underneath to keep it everything lubricated. But this was a pain in the ass. But you hook it on there and either you hold it with one hand or you have somebody else hold it because it wants to slip off, and then you hand crank it. We're done with this damn thing. It broke, see? That's how you know we ain't used it in a long time. Automatic grease gun. Usually we like to grease it before we put the blades on, but they already put them on, so that's fine. Hook it to this little grease fitting right here, clamp it on, give it about 5 seconds of grease. Preserves the spindle a lot more than people think, for sure. So it pops out a little back right there, you can see when it's full. There's gonna be some people in the comments like, oh, my spindles are greaseless, they're closed off. Guess what? They don't last as long when you have greaseless spindles. What they say is they pre-grease them at the factory and then you never have to grease them again. They don't last as long, trust me. We got both. This is another highly overlooked maintenance thing, is greasing the, what do you call them? The bearings in the front wheel casters. Is if you don't keep greasing these, eventually this fails and then your wheel starts wobbling and you gotta replace all the components in here, like the rod and the bearings and all the other bullshit in it. So just throw a little grease in it, lube it up, should be good for a while. Just spit on that thing.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Because we actually recently had to replace the bearings in that trim star that they're working on because we didn't grease it for a while and then it failed and had to replace all the parts in it, which sucks. The old-fashioned automotive jack. We call this a lawn booger. I like the way it smells. You make time for maintenance, or maintenance makes time for you. I heard that one time.
You sound like you're 80.
Subtle flex. We use all of these that we do, but we got another crew of mowers that are for backup, just in case, you know, shit breaks down throughout the year. So you gotta have backup equipment and backup trailers and backup trucks, because inevitably in this business, it's gonna break. Ready to go for Monday morning. All right, got everything greased up. Blades are sharpened. Ready to go for Monday. Friday is a shorter day for us typically, so we do blade maintenance on Friday morning, work half day, and then come Monday, machines are ready to go, ready to make money, ready to get back to work. So like, subscribe, leave me a comment, let me know how you guys do mower maintenance, and shout out to Jobber for sponsoring the video. Appreciate you guys. Let's go make some money starting next week.